I watched family members struggle with it, and it was so painful that I used to deny it. I did not admit it. I told myself, I don't have OCD. I'm not afraid of touching doorknobs. I'm not a germaphobe. Little did I know that the type of OCD that I struggled with was not physical at all. It was emotional. And like so many others, I had no idea OCD could look like overthinking, perfectionism, self-doubt, and a constant need for reassurance. As an adult, it was brought to my attention that much of my anxiety stemmed from unrepressed emotions. And at one point, I tried anxiety meds, but I realized that path just wasn't for me. What worked were the tools and strategies that I studied, researched, learned, practiced, and now teach to teens and families every day. Hi, I'm Dr. Carla Couturier, elite life coach and founder of the House of Rise. And today I want to talk directly to you as a parent about something often misunderstood, OCD. Now, when most people hear OCD, they think of hand washing, counting, needing things to be perfect, and that is one aspect of OCD. But for many teens, it's something much deeper. It's emotional, it's internal, and it often flies under the radar. Teens often show up like everything is perfect. They're getting good grades, everything's going well, they're popular, they're doing all the things, all the clubs and activities. But it shows up in teens who are deeply sensitive, highly intuitive, and incredibly bright. And they haven't been taught how to process big emotions that they're feeling every day. So think of your teen walking into school, picking up on their friend's mood, their teacher's voice has tension in it. They absorb the energy in the hallways. You got into an argument in the morning and they're feeling all this. Then they get to practice or dance or band, and then they're dealing with the emotions of the people that they're absorbing there. And it just floods in their inner world and they don't know how to regulate it, and it just becomes overwhelming, which then equals anxiety. And we often say kids have anxiety, but don't necessarily look at OCD, and that their OCD steps in not to harm them, but to try to protect them, to create order in all of this chaos. And it often starts with those what if thoughts. Like, what if I hurt someone by accident? What if I forget something important? What if I don't do well on that test? What if I drop the ball during practice? What if something terrible happens and it's all my fault? These thoughts become a loop. And it's really not based on logic at all, but it's the need to feel safe in a world that feels completely uncertain. So I've worked with teens. I had one who was a straight A student, competitive dancer, leader in her school, but inside she was spiraling. She would ask her mom the same questions over and over again. Are you sure you locked the door? Are you sure I'm not a bad person? These questions, which seem silly, were trying to help her reassure herself. She wasn't being dramatic. She was trying to quiet that noise in her head and feel safe. And you see, OCD shrinks the world down to the rules and rituals until the only thing that feels reliable is that anxiety itself. And they don't know how else to feel. But there is good news. When teens learn to link back up with themselves, to choose which thoughts to follow and which thoughts to let go, they begin to reclaim their power. And often their OCD points directly to their gifts, their empathy, their creativity, their capacity for deep connection, and their emotional intelligence. So they don't need to be fixed. They need to feel safe being who they already are and who they are going to step into with this new identity of strength and personal power. So what can you do as a parent to help? You can model what it looks like to be bold in the face of uncertainty. And instead of saying, what if something goes wrong? What if it all works out just fine? And you have to remind them this. Life is not black and white. Growth lies in the gray. And they don't have to figure it out all overnight. They want to have the answer. They want to have it done just like it's a math problem, and it doesn't work that way. When your teen says, I don't feel in control, remind them where they do have control. So they have control over what they engage in, their school projects, their performance on the soccer field, their dance class, the art that they create. And that's where they shine because it's safe, structured, and familiar. But OCD often shows up to protect them from the messier things, like relationships, emotions, and vulnerability. So here's your role. Create a space for your teen to feel their feelings without rushing to fix them for them. Let them feel them. Support their need for connection without pushing them towards hyper independence. Remember, the goal is to be interdependent. Help them hold onto their identity, even if it doesn't align with yours exactly, with their peers, with societies, it's theirs. This requires selfish empathy, and this is the ability to protect your own needs while honoring theirs. What OCD tells them is you must be perfect, you must never fail, you must keep everyone happy. But we can help them believe something else. You don't need to doubt yourself. You don't need to perform to be loved. You don't need to disappear to belong. So again, let them feel their feelings, let them be messy, and let them be whole. Now you may be wondering, how do I know if my teen is struggling with this? There's signs. Repeated reassurance seeking, perfectionism masking low self-worth, avoidance of difficult conversations or emotions, overthinking simple interactions, harsh self-criticism or guilt over being too sensitive. Their inner critic tells them they're too much or not enough. But their sensitivity isn't the problem. It's actually their superpower. When we reframe OCD, not as a disorder, but as a signal calling for connection, compassion, and nuance, everything begins to shift. Obsession can become intuition. Fear can become courage. Uncertainty can become possibility. So if you're watching this and thinking, this sounds like my teen, here's what I want you to do next. Connect with me. I have plenty of free things that I can share with you, whether they're videos, PDFs, support through DMs. I have a YouTube page, many things that I can support you, your family, your teen, and their emotional world with. I have a free Facebook group. That's another place where I offer tips and strategies to help you out. And just know you're not alone. Your teen is not broken, and healing does not have to be a mystery. If this really connected with you and you really want to see where we can go next and help your teen rise, not in spite of their OCD, but because of their strength, creativity, and sensitivity, then let's walk this journey together. What we'll do is we'll do a free 15-minute call, and we'll see what an individualized support plan looks like for you and your family. So again, I'm here to walk the journey with you. I've done the work and continue to do the work right along with you.